Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we just write the add, get and update APIs of category. So if you are not seen that video, just go to the description and check out the link. In this video, we are going to write new APIs for products. So let us start with that. So first we need to create the table. So I'm going to table.sql and here we have to write create table product, and here we have to write int id not null, and it should be auto increment, and after that name varchar, and it should be 255, and it should not null, and after that we need to get category id. So this id we are going to store in this place, okay? And after that integer, it should be an integer type and it should not null. After that we have to write description varchar, and it should be 255, and price integer, this one, and status varchar, and it should be 20, and after that primary key, it should be id, okay? And at last put semicolon, save it and copy this query and open MySQL and paste it over here and press enter. And after that, to see the description of this table, you can write DESC product, okay? So you can see the id is int, primary key, name, category id, description, price and status. You can see table has been created. Now we have to move to the routes folder, and here we have to create a new file. File name will be product.js, and you can see file has been created. Now here we have to write const express equals require express actually, and after that const connection we need to import. So connection dot require, and here we have to write import that connection, this one, and const router express dot router, this one, and we also need to import auth require a file that is in the services, and authentication, this one, and we also need to import the check role, this one, require, and here we're going to call the services and check role, this one. And after that we have to write the first API for product, that one is add API. So router dot post method, and here the mapping should be add here, and auth dot authenticate token, and check role dot check role, this one. And after that we have to pass request response, and here we have to just write let product equals to request dot body and query. In this query we have to write insert, okay, it should be where query insert into product, and here we have to write what we need to insert: name, category id, description, and after that price, status and values. And here we have to write 4 question mark first, 1 2 3 4. After that the last one is for status. So initially I want all the products should be active, so I'm writing the true. If you want to whenever a new product is added, it should be not active, in that case you can write a false. So for now I'm going to write true. And after that we have to call the connection dot query, and here we just need to pass that query we write above, and in this we need to pass that product dot name at first place, and product dot category ID we are going to pass. So product dot description, and after that product dot price we need to pass this one, and after that there is maybe error or results. Okay, so equals, and this one, and let me decrease the size of this one so that you can see a complete line. And if there is no error, in that case we need to go with this one. If there is any error occur, in that case actually we need to return. So return response dot status dot not dot 500 actually, then dot json, and we have to return that error. Okay, and in if condition actually we have to return response dot status 200 dot json, and in this we need to pass a message, and product added successfully, we need to pass this message. Okay, and so you can see our add API is ready now. Now we are going to write the next API. That one is our get API. So router dot get API, this one, and in this it should be a get API, and auth dot authenticate token, and request response dot next. We are not going to check the rule because it will used by both admin and user. Okay, so after that we have to write the query. So query will be a little bit big for this one because we need to do inner join. Okay, so select p dot id. So p represent for product, so we will declare that too also. For right now write p dot name, p dot description, p dot price dot p dot status, and c for category, c dot id, as we are going to write as category id, and c dot name as category name, this one, from product as p inner join category as c, where p dot category id is equals to c dot id. So this will be our complete query actually. Okay, let me try to show in the single line so that you can understand. You can write it, copy it directly. You can see select p dot id, p dot name, p dot description, p dot price, status, cid as a category id, c name as a category name, from product as p inner join category as c, where c category id is equals to cid. Okay, so this is the complete query. Let me revert it back and let me move to the next line. Okay, and after that we have to call the connection dot query, and in this we need to write query and error dot results, and here we have to write this one, and if there's a no error actually, in that case we are going to return in if condition, else we are going to return response dot status 500 dot status, sorry, not json actually, JSON with error. Let me move a little bit up this one, and here we are going to return response.status 200.json, and here we are going to pass the results, this one, and save it. So now first we are going to connect this with index page, and we are going to test these two APIs, then we will move forward. So let me open the terminal. Okay, before going to the terminal, first move to the index, and here we have to write const product route equals require, and in this we have to write routes, and in this we have to call this one product, and after that app dot use, and here we have to write product and product route this one, and now we connected successfully with this product with our project. So let me start with project and let me test this. Okay, we are getting some kind of error. Okay, index we are getting. Okay, so actually we did not imported things from here, actually that's the reason it was giving us error. Okay, so here we have to write module dot exports equals, and here we have to write router, then save it. You can see it is started. Now if you can see the error is also get removed from here. And now let me open the postman. Okay, let me copy this, open this one, and let me make it as post, and here let me make it as product, and here we have to write add, and the body we have to write here, and raw, and this one will be JSON. Let me extend this one, and here we are going to write first is name, so I'm going to write t test. Okay, let me write test, and after that we have to write here category ID. So category ID 1 or 2 is available, so I'm going to write 1, and after category ID we have to write description. So test description I'm going to write, and after that we have to write price. So 1 2 3 I'm going to write, and after price, actually the next, okay, so these 4 things actually we need to send. So name, category ID, description, and price, these 4 things we need to send actually, and the last one is status, so it will automatically insert it from backend. Okay, so let me hit this API. You can see, okay, we are getting unauthorized. Okay, so right now we did not added the token. So let me hit this API with admin credentials, and let me copy this token, and let me paste in authorization bearer token, and let me paste it over here, and then let me try. You can see product added successfully. We are getting the message. So let me check it out, like the data is inserted successfully or not. So product semicolon, you can see data has been inserted successfully. Okay, so let me add one more data in this, so it will be good to see it. Okay, so 1, I'm going to write 1, and here change 2. Okay, so let me hit it. You can see data has been added successfully. So now I'm going to write here get. I'm going to change it to get, and let me increase the size of this one. Let me hit the API. So now when you see the data, you can see we are doing inner join in the 2 tables like product and category. On the basis of that we are returning this data. So ID will be refers to our product table, and name you can see, the description you can see, price you can see here, status. These details which are coming from the product table, and these 2 details we are getting it from category table. So the same thing will be followed over here too. Okay, you can see in this we are getting pizza because the category ID has been changed. So it means that our both API is working fine. So now we will move forward to write other APIs of this product. So let me open this, and here let me delete this one. Not delete, actually we stopped that. Okay, after that, in another get API we are going to create. Basically, on the basis of category we are going to get. Okay, so get by category and by ID actually. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to pass a category ID actually. On the basis of that, we are going to return all the like the product which are connected with that category ID. So for that we are using this API. So auth dot authentication, and this will be open for all the users of our system. Okay, so next, and here we have to write const id, and it should be, right now you can see we are getting it from params, so we have to write request dot params, this one, and here we have to write id. So from here we are going to get the value to this one. Okay, so after that we have to write a query. So query equals, and here we are going to select id and name. We just need to select these two fields, we don't need to select all the details. So product where category id is equals to question mark, and we also need to check that the status of that product is true or false. So if it is true, then only we are going to return that product, otherwise we are going to ignore it. Okay, so query is there, and in this we just need to pass our local query, and here we have to write id, and in this error results, this one, and after that, if there is, let me move a little bit up, this one, there is a no error, in that case, else we are going to return response.status with 500 dot JSON with error, and if there is no error, then we are going to return the whatever the result. Okay, return response.status 200 and .json, and here we have to write results, this one. Okay, so our get by category id API is ready now. So now we are going to write like by get by id actually. So by, let's say we are passing the product id 1, then we are going to return that according to that id. Okay, so let me write here route dot get API, and it should be get by id, and in this we are also going to pass in id like this, and auth dot authenticate token, we are going to authenticate request dot response comma next. Okay, and after that, let me move a little bit up, this one, const id equals request dot params dot id is okay. After that we are going to write where query equals, and here we have to select all the fields. Okay, so select id, name, description, and price from product where id is equals to question mark, and here we have to write connection dot query and query comma, and we have to pass that id, and here we have to write error results, this one, and then we have to write here if there is a no error, in that case else return with response dot status 500 dot JSON, and here we are going to write error, and if return response dot status is 200, then .json, and we are going to result whatever the at index 0 value we are going to pass, because we need only one record. We don't need to send the complete array. Okay, so it will also actually select one record, but it will be in the form of array. That's why we are returning in the at index 0. Okay, so after writing this, we are going to write a new API for product to update the product actually. So let me move a little bit up. So router dot patch, actually patch this one, and after that update type it should be an auth dot authenticate, and in this we are also going to check the role. So check role, and check role this one, and request dot response next, and here we are going to write let product equals to request dot body, and here we are going to write where query is equals to update product set name equals to question mark, category id is equals to question mark, description equals to question mark, and price where id is equals to question mark, this one. And after that we are going to create a connection dot query, this one. Query we are going to pass, and here we need to pass the product dot name, product dot category id, product dot description, product dot price actually, and at last product dot id we need to pass. And after that we are going to expect any error or results, and in this we are going to write, let me move a little bit left, let me remove that one for now, and if there is no error this condition, else we are going to return. So return response dot status with 500 dot json, and whatever the error we got, and if condition we have going to check that is it in results affected raw is 0 or not. So affected raw is equals to 0 or not. If in this we just need to return response dot status with 404.json with a message product id does not found. We are going to return this message, and in other condition we are going to return response dot status with 200 with json, and in this we are going to pass a message product updated successfully. This one we are going to return the message. Let me put semicolon at the end, and after that the last second API we have to write here, that one is to delete our product. So router dot delete product, it should be delete, and here we are going to write delete, and after that slash id we have to write an auth dot authenticate token, and we are also going to check the role of for this, and request response and next. Okay, and after that here we have to write const id is equals to request dot params dot id where query is equals to delete from product where id is equals to question mark connection dot query, and here we have to write query, and we need to pass the id and error results somewhere. I think I write some wrong result because it was showing this one. Let me search that where. Okay, here we write the wrong. Okay, so let me change this spelling, this one, and we're also going to change it over here. Now results, and after that we have to write this one, and if there is no error else we are going to return. So return response.status 500.json, and in this we have to pass that error, and in if condition we are going to check that results dot affected raw is equals to 0 or it's 0. If it is 0, in that case we are going to return with the response with the status 404.json with message product id does not found, and then we have to return response.status. We have to write 200.json and message product deleted successfully, this one. Okay, so delete API is ready. So let's test these APIs, then we will move forward, because it's right now we write 1 2 3 4 APIs till now and 2 already tested. So let me check with the category. So let me, this one is a, here we just need to change the id and /1 we need to write, so it will return the all the, okay, so actually it's not running. So let me open the terminal and let me write here npm start, press enter, and server started. Let me hit the API. You can see it's running and it's returning actually the product whatever we have. Let me add few more product. Okay, so here we have to write add. Let me remove this part, let me make it as post, and let me change this to 1 category id, and here we have to write 2. Okay, let me going to hit it. Now you can see product added successfully. Now I again making it as get, paste it here, let me press 1 and let me hit this API. So now it needs to be returned 2. Here you can see id1 name test, id3 name test. If I change this to 2, it will return test1. You can see it's working fine. So our next API is for get by id. So if we pass this one and let me hit this, you can see we are getting product by id. So after the get id, the next API we created it for update. Okay, so let me go to the body and let me add here id, and here I'm going to write to 1, and let me change this to let me write here test get by id. I'm going to write this, and let me make it as post, and let me make it as update, this one. Okay, it should be a patch id. So let me hit it, product updated successfully. Let me check in the database. You can see get by id is there, category is there. You can see if we change this to 2 and let hit this API, you can see product updated successfully. It means you can see id, category IDs also get changed. So it means that update is also working fine. So now the last API, not last, the second last API of this delete. We are going to test it. So here we are going to write delete, and here we write 1, and it should be a delete mapping. So let me click on this. Product deleted successfully. We are getting this message. If we try to delete that product which does not exist, it will return product ID does not found. You can see. So let me select this. We can see that product has been removed from our database. So it means that that API is also working fine. So after delete API, we have to write one more API to update actually. So router dot patch, this one. Basically this one is used to change the status. So let me write here patch and slash update status auth dot authenticate token dot check role and check role dot check role, this one, and request response next, this one. Let me move a little bit up, this one. Let user request dot body, this one, and after that we have to write query. So query is equals to update product set status is equals to question mark, where ID is equals to question mark, and put semicolon. After that connection dot query, and here we have to pass the query, and user dot status user dot ID, and after that error results, this one, and we just need to check if there is no error, else we are going to return the response with the status like 500 dot JSON, and with error whatever we get. Okay, and an if condition, if results dot affected raw is equals to 0, in that case we are going to return the response dot status 404 dot JSON message product ID does not found. We need to return this one. In other condition, we are going to return response dot status with 200 dot JSON, and in this we are going to write product status updated successfully. Okay, we are going to return this one. So let me save this out. Okay, let me save this. You can see it restarted. So let me copy this and let me move back over here, and let me delete this, and let me remove this part also. Okay, this one, and here we are going to write status, and here we are going to write false, and we are going to hit this API. Okay, it should be a patch API, so let me try this one. Okay, we are getting product ID does not exist. Okay, we deleted the ID one, so let me change it to product status updated successfully. Let me open this one. Let me select this. You can see status has been updated successfully. It means that our update status API is working fine as expected. So this is all APIs of product. So I hope you guys like this video. So please hit like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.